So just as usual, please make yourself comfortable and just relax your body. And then our task is to do the meditation practice. Since we all, consider ourselves as a great meditators, so we have to meditate. So the people, get together for various, various purpose. So when a politician get together, so they only talk about politics. So if the business people get together, they have to talk about business. But when we get together as a meditators, so our subject and the topic have to be something to do with meditation practice. So there are so many different types of interested groups, focus groups. So as far as I can see, so probably the best group is a group which is focusing on the meditations and something with the spiritual value. So when we focus on the topic of the meditation practice, or there's something spiritualities, so where the people there's a common interest is to really to cultivate and develop a calmness and a peace within our mind, and so therefore this topic is not like some other group, if we group which talk about the politics and so forth. So where the nature of the topic itself. So where as the people focus their mind on that, so it will as a outcome of that, as an influence of their focus on that kind of topic. So it is simply increase more. Like a desires more, competition or there's such jealousies and so forth. Whereas when we focus our mind on something to do with the meditation, then it should have the effect of really rather calming our mind down and enhancing peace within ourselves.
So
that's the major difference between the focusing on the meditation and on other, and so therefore it's important to know when we see the differences, then we can recognize and appreciate the value and the benefit of engaging in meditation practice more.
It's something that go jai say she never want to come take go to ngene to mag was senje manduwa to Geshe de go ya ngene
as far as the cultivating peace, experiencing peace and happiness within ourselves goes. So it is something that there's no exception. There's all the living being, all the sentient being, they all desire something that desire for that most.
Jesa kare se ngado tenita goja de se nodo tu ba tel ba shen yu se nodo tu ba tel shen se ne ba le ga se nodo tu se ne ba ya ma ya la ya chen sha la se lin ne tu lin ne ba lin ni ba man de te no se nodo tu se ne ba ya ma yin na ne ngene de ida sono tenito na ngado de da se nodo ba tu de ba ngado ba sha ji chen na pen do sha ra nu ga the son of Gene Doga Lam
So when our mind is filled with a various like a disturbing thought or or various the distractions, then then our mind is becomes very agitated and very disturbed, and so and as a result of that, or due to these disturbances or this the agitations within our mind, so therefore then we then that can kind of weaken or diminish the force, mental force, or our own like a self potentials. So it's like if we talk in terms of our body, how like in fact the Shantideva said how when our body is infected with some disease, then the body will become lose its strength, lose its power. So in a similar way, we have to see that our mind loses its strength, its energies, when it is agitated or too much, preoccupied with a lot of disturbing thoughts.
That's on the abode in that's on the abode of the said not on truth, then said Negumandua. Yasa del Negumandua. Said Yasa del Mane Sareni, Jack Arishan and Nibamandua. That's a then on the mother's thought, then on the new regular. That's on the teeth on another. Menere, so said, Moto, Matripa, Panejada, social kitchen, which ration you are. Is that son of Tennyson, so go, that's so the Langanachi tell me. They in the men so the thing going to. Girl, so noto, Matriate. 다시 롤 해야지 말 다시 롤 누에 다시 얘네면 제거지 다시 써나 다 고자들에 용다다 저는 대지도 나쁘어 저 선도 선 호용 근데 선도기 레셔 세드 실로 마마도 하대 논들이 세걸 놀아가 들에다 따지 있잖아 별라이 편도 쉬워지 하래
so the in terms of knowing the one's mind, and also the benefit of having a very peaceful and a very like a very stable mind, in knowing, as far as knowing that, so it is really the matter of just observing one's thought and also one's own experience, and we can see that how if we observe our mind, then how we can know the difference. How when our mind is filled with so many agitated thoughts, then when it's agitated with thought, then the mind loses its like a focus, loses its stabilities and or its attentions. So therefore, with that kind of without such the focus, without such attention in the mind, and then we know from our own experience, then whatever activity that we undertake, and then there is not much of effective. It becomes very unproductive. So this is something we can verify. We can recognize from our just observing our own experience. So then there is if we also ask ourselves, is there any means to really overcome these such mental like agitations and to bring to make our mind more peaceful, more stable? Then we can see that yes, then there is a means, and we can see that the means is the meditation practice. So it's a perfect means, and so therefore it's important to that not only to recognize the effect in of one's mind over one's the experience and also the what one wants to achieve, what one is doing, but at the same time one also have to feel that if one wants to be a successful and person and to be a happier person, and then one have to recognize that one has some sort of responsibilities. There's which one have to take, and so therefore when we do this, the responsibility, and then also see when we see in this way, it's important to see the benefit of the meditation practice, and as well as with the sense of this responsibilities to improve, to develop one's one's life, then to put into practice what one see as something effective, something useful, effective to calming one's mind and so forth.
다 손에 거지 연롱면 나왔다. 다 손 제정에는 손에 아부터 센트라는 것도 용거야. 센트라 용거야. 데 컴 뭐샤시 비거다. 아마 시제거다. 타도 소더시나. 근데 아본데와. 근데 저 시그와. 신 근데 서서 배제제. 라 그제 영영시 지셔도 센트라의 제 뉴로그래. 센트라마 시제도 니바 첸로그래. 대인이만 안 손도 그래. 내 가져 드는 손은 마도 아체 가서 제제 너는 가서 용거 아체 저지 레가나 아이제 배잖아 아이제제 저 정말아 제제 아당아 잔디고 예수선 가로 양아 부분아시 제지와 베베 제지와 깽년 받치는 tre서 들으면 세균 표시지 누구 용도 나도 뭐 못해 가서 맞아 매매가는 통거대와 이 단단 안 되고 막 센트라 샤와들 건지행께서 다내스 들리슬려 따다 내스 거를 15지 배동들서 뭐 못해서 100년은 통도사 년에 쟁해질래 그랬더니 다 가서 고자다 서서다 삼바좀보는 취재받에 편도 10번 되세요 뭐 옛날에 년에 이제 저러서 손 들도더라. 야부야 단단히 가더라. 디세 때지. 라 냐마레노라 제 고자이 디세 세다. 세바 너도 디 온도만로 하제 세 노치네네네 내 너도 봐시 되거든. 세 냐마레 서서 레리든 때 야토나 야부야래. 이제 손 들도나 야본데 와지 다 손대 당
So just as the we can recognize or we experience the how our mind is so difficult or in order to prevent such the distraction, mental distraction in the mind. Or such mental agitation in the mind is something very difficult and something is almost like which is unavoidable, but at the same time it's also important to recognize that there is a means. We can also to recognize the means such as like meditation practice, which has the which works actually effective to in terms of overcoming those such mental agitations and such decreasing disturbing thought. So therefore, if we at least in a the everyday life, if we at least trying to as we find some challenges in our some thought, uncontrolled thoughts in our mind, at the same time, if we applied the means which to overcoming that, then we can notice the difference in terms of at least terms of having a minimum or the amount of such the mental agitations, and also we can notice the there are also, just as we experience such so agitated thought, but there's also a moment where we can also experience the kind of deeper sense of peace and happiness within ourselves. So therefore we cannot we have to be always mindful, have to become familiar with the practice, and have to be always ready, prepare ourselves to apply that whenever it is necessary. Sometimes we tend to, especially in a time when things are going very smoothly, you feel like you're making good monies and wealth is good. You're also making attracting a lot of friends, and when all things are going well, sometimes we forget about everything, and as if we feel like we're on the on top of everything, and then suddenly when we face some unexpectedly face some very adverse situations, when we face that, we get so shocked that then we immediately at the time we just lose ourselves, all ourselves get so confused, and then we find it that situation so overwhelming that we we're finding ourselves very difficult, extremely difficult to cope with that. So however, if like saying regardless of one's the situations in life, if one always trying to integrate these like such some sort of spiritual reflections, some meditation practice on a daily basis, regardless of the length of the period, one always watch one's thought and seeing recognizing the distraction, and then making some effort to calming that down. So in this way, have a bit more awareness of the one's this such mind, and then we can as there are there are many other people who who follow the meditation practice, as they have found the meditation practice so beneficial in order to live a more stable life, and also to cope with the various difficulty or the hardship in the life. So as they find it beneficial, so definitely we can also reap a great benefit from of the meditation in our life.
들 건데 아버지래 아주 쟁행바지 쉬니 센트에 용건데 들 로저디야 로저 배제될 라봐야 돼 다리 제임바 다능아도 제안 노제지 가르치 강아 잔데 가르 예서에 가들 쟁행바나 찔래 스님들 새 쉬지 좋은데 다 대가들 새롱 온산데 네 로지왕게 못되고 다 하고라 네 센트한테 마셔마도나 당아체 대보신 요삼 년에다 가지면 로소 체이가 다 저한테 가질래는데 와. 다 년에 로지왕게 된 네 걸어 새도 친들이지네 다 농미 바실래 자한테 센트도 마셔놓고요. 깨진 아마들 걸어 저 센트니 세 대아자면 깨진 셔마다가 나올라 걸어 거제 네바디고 색들 대아슬래서 색들 대아스 때서서 뇽아 센트 뇽아 뒤에서 서정마 거자한테 편도 좀 쉬어줘서 되네 제 몸은 되네 제 몸은 더 패서 생겨 되네 당아 뭐야 너봐야 내들을 안 줘라 되네 생겨 뭐야
So as we understand that the meditation practice help ones to gain more control over one's mind, and therefore if one become very familiar. So if one become very familiar with the meditation practice, then it is one find it very easy, at ease one will be applied to that practice whenever one need to. So like how especially in a time when we face a very adverse situations, and we find a very we find it very difficult to cope. So in that kind of situations, if we look into the cause, then the one of the main cause that why of our difficulty is a lot more to do with our emotions, and lack of our ability to controlling that, and so then furthermore, if you look, then there is what we see is there is some we find within ourselves a very a disturbed, very agitated state of mind. So therefore, for someone, like there are many who are familiar with the practice, then they can, when they face such situation, and then they could give a bit of reflection on their situation, and then recognizing that the most important thing that they have to do to overcome this, their hardship is to calming their mind down, and so therefore they as a if in that situation, if you are familiar with the meditation practice, then as we would know, so where we have to sit and then direct our mind to the onto a more like the internal objects or object within ourselves, and with because of the familiarity with the practice. So if let's say if the mind is able to just rest on that object, so which means resting on that internal objects, then this would automatically, naturally immediately can overcome all those emotional turmoils and the problems. So it's like you can see the difference for practitioner. You could see the difference that how a moment before your mind was your emotions, your experience is very disturbed, and the next moment you are in a very calm state of mind. So what we can find here is that how through meditation practice, so we can we can enhance peace within our mind, and even though not necessarily the case that we can remove all the external obstacles in our life. Is not or the adverse causes of the adverse unfavorable conditions of the life. But however, what we have we can do here through meditation practice, what we can do here is at least to prevent these such external circumstances, circumstances to have the effect on one's mind or within one's continuums, such as losing all one's a peace and one's the happiness and one's the sanities. So therefore, whereas on the other hand, how we when we lack this such the application of such the thought transformation and such a meditation practice, then how we can easily lose the all our peace and happiness just because of certain the external the unfavorable causes and conditions.
She came and no sanctity, the Amala, that the true and then you know the Mala in life. Tabari, dead, you know that. So the Etichum, she watched it and she came and Kaiser, no sang their Tata hung death congregation, tell Fanto Chumbo, she was in the that thing I knew this thing in the Lavata. My bosses are cheating like worry.
So there's one things that which quite often I the comment is that I have a experience of how to maintaining my own the peace and happiness within my mind. And even in the face of certain unfavorable external conditions, So, so this is something. The even though we cannot prevent, we cannot overcome the external condition, but we can through our own practice. So we can protect ourselves, protect our own peace and happiness. From being harmed or being destroyed, damaged by the external conditions.
다 손은 손에 yap은 데 와서 내가 말이야 이만 나한테 지지 마트에 엄마 아빠 자투선이 들어와 되는데 인디아 앞에 매체인데 용거를 거기서 계속 다 코멘트는 싫어해. 킹알 제가 저 답을이 되니 나는 15년 가래 킹알 대처다.
So just to tell you this my experience. So I know one woman who used to come to teaching, and also after teaching sometimes we go out for tea in outside.
India.
She's from India. No. No, okay. And she asked, the what's the secret of why you always able to maintain some very cheerful and happiness.
All time you happy. Why? She said, why you all time you happy? I said, I all lost. My country lost. My family lost. My sister lost, and I lost. She was very shocked. She really second she did no attachment. London hotel that Chabamia, some more there is Shinra, and Koyana. What India, the rivers of Bay. India very intelligent. She said, no, that's a Chabamia did, yes.
So when I told her a bit about my background of my life stories, about the loss of the country and having to depart the families, separate from families, so forth. And then she had a bit of thought, and then then she gave the answer to me by saying that maybe because you are free from attachment. So and the Krishna said even that is a very smart answer, and also that shows the intelligence of the Indian mind.
Chapaya Marzang, it's a shake, my court is a cost, writing in a cost. Better, Chapati, that cost.
So I didn't have to give the answer, so she understood very clear and which is very true.
That is a gun, other she changed it, no says Malabat, then go up the Shibuchi, not tell that. Kangang tells us that you're going to do. She changed it too, telling other say my shoe. Can you then change me out to Leno, the car channel? Changed it to you. Session was an idea, try meeting. Need you can I tell you up Mukukeras. Maja don't know the test, Cardi Chena, Matesa, as long as a matter. She is going no, the Aso Lasagna, my happiness, and you are she, Jem, no, sang the Ama, so much top. My young gig and some other young do. Nessa tell at any, sang there are no touch only what did they got. Is a Nancy Sarano legger, not Jenga the legger, so such a said thing, not on the Murad, said no sit there, and some lesson. Their mother, Tam, 새 노도 마 셔니 새 대한테 대타들에 뭐도 시다 어떻게 뛰어다 안도 배 맞아 당 안도 좀을 안도 내서 렌토를 이제 와서 대도가 그네다 저래서 그래다 거자는 맞지 보이고 맞지 보이고 아주 개념 셔라 새셔 보디 개념 셔라 당이 되라고 이제 다선 대도들
So the emphasis that I've always been putting on these my talk on the meditation is to utilize, to apply the meditations in order to maintain our like a peace and happiness within our mind, and that's that's very extremely important, and that's something that the way to maintain that or the means of something effective means to protect this our inner peace and happiness is really the meditation practice, or it's not something that we can rely on the external the causes or external means, any external means, and so therefore we want, it's very important for in order for us to enjoy a sustainable like a peace and happiness in our life. So to have that, inwardly have some sort of resistance, so that we are not always too vulnerable to the all the continuous like a changing or situation of the external world, external circumstance. So whereas how when we lack that, the ability to maintain the inner the peace and to maintain our minds, controlling our mind, then how easily the certain external cause and condition can overwhelm us, and how this just by external, simply by due to some external cause, and it can completely we can completely lose our self, like the self, the courage, and then can even easily get completely depressed, and to the point that we can experience, due to it's all because of certain external situation, we lose our like interests and our motivations, and so much so that even just that we cannot enjoy our life, no matter even if we try, if we cannot, we might find it difficult to even go to sleep, or even if you try something else to go out to eat, we cannot enjoy, or even a friend trying to support you, trying to take you out, even that doesn't help. So therefore there are certain things how we can recognize that how sometimes when we inside our mind or within ourselves, within our continuum, when we are certain something, we are very disturbed and we are very agitated. So how we can clearly see that how in that kind of situation that all the external things, how they fails to actually to overcome, to help us to overcome these problems. So therefore, here we can see the great the benefit of integrating, of learning the meditation practice and applying that, in getting used to the practice in our life.
Yeah, I'm going to Johnson. I'm going to right. I'm about to get the chamber to see the target. Jim Gajet, go at me by the tongue on the Yun the Red, Yun call me by Yun the Sierra, Jesus or Son Tomoga, quality, Nether, to one machine road. ma shene tene se da nyo ya pong tene iza a ko mi pa ni jung che dan da xia no ji re tene se da shira pa ma to a che je to ya bu chen do ra ma o nga zo se da shira ro ka she do le la bo she re ka she do de de gang ga de wa tene ma che ya do la de se do ga de ya ma do na gang ga ya bu no ga ra 너무 도 가데 체네 가데 갈레제 대를 하노 가야 말 가들와 센트라데 예질 쇼르와 세 예진로네 예도 예진이 진짜 트레이닝 하다 동안요하데 세 동안되는데 이거도 세게 대하세도 예도 센인 트레이닝 하듯이 대하 균이지 용어도 그러데 배나 미시지 미시도 전에 예원이 체니 예예도 와서도 준저버치도 미신인 체니 다 대하나 처음나 용거도 와 대노 저자저로 레야세 맞아 거는 예저다 저 레야살라 대드세니 시바테든 체니들이 맞아 다 대드 용거도 와 손 대도 새가 되네 대한 영화사 예도 진짜니 용도야 연태장 가서 대화에서 저라 저러 레자서 콘동가들 간도 콘동가들 대화 전에 너도 색들 대화요 콘동가들 대화 전에 색들 못 대화요 되게 더 맞아 가까이 못 대화 그래서 손 대도 그래 새 거를 역할은 내가 마셔나 손은 맞도나 서설 대아요 된게 설게 따봐 손 터처럼 야보 손도 그래 그때서 봐제지 이마치 대선아요 셀 못야 뭐이야지 되는 로지지 요아래 일단 다선 대도 못 해봐 트리아 분들서 나 거대 잠
So we're going to do our usual breathing meditation practice. So in this meditation, so there's no in order to do the meditation. So there is we don't need to need a lot of knowledge or to have to think about the topic. Or the reason for the topic and so forth. So what it is simply, the meditation is simply to just to direct our mind on the object, on our breath, and of course in order to do that, so first of all one need to overcome or to get rid of all the thoughts, like a very disturbing thought which have filled one's mind. So now, of course, it is the reality is that sometimes it's not always easy to actually to get rid of all the disturbing thoughts. Now and then, so therefore we need to understand that how those thoughts arise, those thoughts arise, and then it's the what the various different thoughts have the effects on one's emotion, whether it's something very pleasant or unpleasant. So generally speaking, so a lot of in our case, so a lot of our thoughts are all related to the our mind, our state of mind or consciousness, contact with the mainly with the five like essential objects, such as the visual like a form, sound, smell, and the touch, and so forth. So what that means is what we can understand here is that it's what we experience is really the contact of our subjective mind and its objects. So when, for example, if you take the subjective mind or the subjective consciousness as our visual eyesight, like eye consciousness, then it can perceives like a visual form, and how when it has a contact with a certain form, it can be attractive form. It has a different arise different emotions, different feeling, and whereas some other form might have a different effects. So likewise, we can depending on all this. So basically, a lot of our the emotion arises because of this the contacts with these five sensual objects. So therefore, we can see that basically when we if we like a severe, or if we cut our mind, the contact of our mind from a particular certain object, then and that in that way, in a sense that we are overcoming, or we are getting rid of that particular state of mind, particular state of thoughts. So therefore, here we can see then how the meditation practice work in terms of like where we when we disciplines our mind on to rest on a specific objects. So on that object. So therefore, there is no this as a result. So it will diminish all various all other thoughts, disturbing thoughts, and various other states of mind.
So there's something about Jetana Jegunda, set issue Mando Achicena, Shobo Pegundua, some Cholotono. Don't have no more chili hard. Ra, not for Chijuka, she said, Ra, Chijukadin, and Alate hard. This is the young man.
So, we have to, if we observe our, our state of mind, and then when our mind is occupied on a certain objects, engage in a certain object, then it can have the the effect of very or bringing more disturbance in one's and a very unpleasant unpleasant effects. So therefore one have to recognize that, therefore one have to do something to prevent the mind from from occupying or from engaging in that particular objects. So however, instead of doing that, instead of taking some measure to restrain some sort of restraining one mind to go after that objects, if you simply go occupy in that and then just get the mind habituated with that, so then the outcome will be that it will simply then intensify the more disturbance and more discomfort within oneself. So therefore I often say sometimes it is necessary for us to, if there's certain object, certain thought, which if they brings about some unpleasant experience, then it's better to forget about that. So like I myself, maybe not so much now, but I when in a younger age, so then I had the same experience.
바지 아마 제가 때에 천장 근데 대년대 현을 바시보나 지제 거요 반을 해야 thought the amateur then thought the cancer shiver you no amateur says to them say the ring is the ring is a no you Peshibona Yabuchi there long changing then somebody against Chegosan. Not the Chambo the mother, Rachi, and Chambo Mare, then they Yonasan Mata, not the Chuju Gadre, Noja amateur, Sambacha Tezem, and there's yet engaged. Testing other Sabaya Tomotokas. Am I only Yondina Defa? Yabushibu, the regular, son, roller, then noisy, Italia, noisy. Gangal Tandy Yapo, that there, take our king and a cheese, not color. Then Madame Chimbotini was like that. Yes, on the Nilta, Sierra Peng, that has a tongue, got a general this year.
So I can recall to how difficult I found when I was young and had to say I have to separate or I have to leave my mother after spending a very good time, very close time with her for a while. So and that departing time was, I can still remember, was extremely emotionally extremely hard. And now looking back, so one of the reason why I found that so hard was because the some little time that you spent was so enjoyable. She was so totally not spoiling me, and there's so much affections and so forth, and so therefore when suddenly when I have to leave, then I felt so there's so much emotionally it's a great very hard. And so in this it's not so much then after a while when then you live your life, and then you even if you think about my mother, I didn't have much that same difficulties, same hardships. So in the same way, in how even in our life, like in the especially when suddenly when things are everything's very going well, and suddenly the things change, then we will find that very difficult to cope with.
That's really found you said today. That's it. Thing other song dog, that's a woman, the song as judgment. Not the woman that Jimali, you do. I didn't answer one mess of the yard. The new judgment. Some
people said, I have no issue. I don't have such issues, but in fact, when they, face that real situation, then they will realize that.
So the Goja Gisettinito, sono Gisettinito, a Cholo Goja, the Tinpendongi, about Teshe, Gisetchigo. So the Concheva, the Shinia boys, that's on 10 todo. I got a general design.
So just as whatever we do in life, we got to have some good purpose, good reasons. So that's why when we engage in meditation practice, so we have to recognize that we're very clear in our mind what is the purpose and what benefit, how this meditation practice that we do, how in what way it can benefit us. So that's why we I've been bringing this, just we've been discussing before, all this issue over and over again. Okay, now let's do we begin the breathing meditation. So just relax yourself, and then trying to get rid of all the outgoing thought, and so that the mind just rests inward, and then you as you breathe in and out, then you trying to direct the focus of the mind on the inhaling and exhaling of the breath.